Afternoon. Well, now I've finished the glazing, I thought I'd better. Last time I did it, I never got round to sealing the windows. I did the front doors, but I haven't got round to sealing the inside of the wood, so I do that. And meanwhile, of course, the roof light is to be done. However, while I was doing the windows, at the end of the day, I was going off to give it some coats of paint, and the paint is still a bit tacky. So unfortunately, although I'm raring to progress that, I can't, at least probably until tomorrow. So unfortunately, I need to fill my time with some other things. Anyway, this has to be done, so it's actually fine. And using this white sort of stick saw stuff is absolutely a joy compared to yesterday's nightmare with the black Dowflex stuff, because if you do make a mistake, you just wipe it off and it's gone, which is a joy. Anyway, see you later. So here we are, one thoroughly but very bad quality, that is, painted roof light. And I've now taken off the pane, I can't even know what they call the lights, as you can clearly see. And because the next step is to get the glazing unit in. So this is a multi-step process, and although it's not in any instructions, I've realised I'm going to have to use the Nemesis, the India ink Dowsil, and as I painted these frames grey, and I don't want them black, I'm putting some preemptive masking tape around the edges. So so you do that, and then the first thing is to put a layer of silicone on the bottom with some spacers, and then put the units in. Double check the right way, because these units are 6mm toughened glass on the top, and then laminated glass underneath in case the top shatters. It should stop. I mean, when toughened glass shatters, it still explodes into a million pieces. So the laminated glass will stop anybody being underneath, hopefully getting a glass shower. Right, let's see how this goes. Wedges underneath, just to keep a 3mm gap on the between that and the right, and then I also need to make sure there's a 3mm gap around the perimeter, which is what these are going to be for. Hopefully I put enough in there. No, it is what it is. I can always put some in later, but you can't move this now until it's cured, and it's going to take a while till it cures. Right, well, it's the waiting game now. Meanwhile, and I can't believe I'm doing this, I'm actually hacking away some of the insulation. So, long story short, well, it's probably not short because I'll be prattling on, but basically, it's getting cold here, it's getting to winter, and electricity prices, otherwise just use an electric radiator or something in the meantime. Electricity prices are, anybody who lives in Britain or Europe will know, are absolutely crazy at the moment. And as we are in a boatyard, we haven't got the price cap that homes in England have got. Anywho, so putting on the fan heater, I've found out to my literal cost with the electricity bill is not really sustainable. Anyway, yet again, I have to thank Rachel a few doors down, because I was chatting away some weeks ago to her, and just came in conversation. Anyway, she mentioned these basically diesel heaters that you can get from eBay. Now, they're basically clones of a German product, a Basto product, and not as cheap as chips they used to be, but they're still relatively cheap, and you know, diesel for heating is a lot cheaper than electricity. So that's what I've got. Anybody with close eyes may have sort of noticed that there was a sort of tube sticking out of the side hatch in one of the side hatches. So obviously, well, I could have a hole in the glazing, and I certainly don't want one. So I need to get somewhere for the exhaust to go. And so what I've done is I've bought some. This is a you know, exhaust for those heaters, made stainless steel, and so I'm going to put one in the side there. And it's not so bad because actually this is actually quite a good long-term solution. I'm actually going to put another exhaust in the bedroom because I was wondering. I've got a multi-fuel stove. It arrived on the hottest day of the year, but the way things are going, it's going to be a while till it's installed. So this will keep me going through the winter. But then also, even when I've got the stove on, you know, the stove, you don't want to sort of, you know, times like this spring and autumn when it's a bit chilly in the morning and the evening, but not necessarily the day. You don't really want to you have to fire up the fire. So having this will be quite useful. So if I sort of have the exhaust here, I can, you know, during the time that's needed, I can connect it up again. When it's not, I can put it away in a cupboard. That's the plan anyway. I've treated myself to a cutter for the hole. It was hideously expensive. This tiny little thing was £30, but it's the Bosch Expert, which is their top. It's their Tesco finest, as it were, for those in the UK. And I thought, if you know, given the struggles I've had to date, I thought that if it gets through this quite thick metal without it still won't be sort of easy like cutting butter, I'm sure, but if it helps, it'll be worth it. However, before I go any further with this, I'm going to do a tiny pilot hole in the middle of here because just about here is where the rubbing strip is, and I don't want to be sort of drilling, whereas this, you know, this doesn't want to be sort of overlapping the rubbing strip. Now I have measured several times, and I'm pretty sure that it will work, but I'd rather have a teeny tiny millimetre hole in the wrong place rather than a 40mm gash. So I'm going to take it slowly. Well, happily, it was okay, regardless. And now I really do not like drilling holes in the boat hole, regardless whether they're meant to be there. I'd rather, if I could get away with it, I'd have no extra holes in here. It just feels wrong, holes in a boat hole. But oh well. Wow. Well, I have to say that was worth every penny. After that, that was a lot easier than I thought. But and it's made a lovely clean hole. However, gosh, the bits of metal go everywhere. So I'm glad I'll be able to do it outside. There's a couple of these that I need to do that I've got to do inside, and there's going to be bits of swore here. But anyway, that's excellent. Evening. Well, I've let the bottom basket set now for 2 days. So the next thing to do is get the black stuff around the sides. So, I've been dying to get that done because it's progress, but on the other hand, I really didn't want to do that. It's such that stuff is a nightmare to work with. Anyway, I've done the best I can. You know, the lines were really good until I had to then go over with my finger, because I needed to do that because I wanted to make sure it was, you know, the contact was good. Where it peeled off the tape, you know, it raises the edges slightly, and when you do that, it went a bit, but. Hey, it's on the roof, so this should not be very visible unless people are looking from a bridge, and that's only good for momentarily. So yeah. So I'm going to leave this now for a good. I'm not going to touch it for several days. So in the meantime, I'm going to go and have a look at some electrics. But I'm going to put this in. I'll put all that in another video just to keep the subjects relatively similar. Anyway, catch you later. Well, today's the day. I don't even want to calculate how long when I started this roof light, but it's finally, after some miserable day's weather, it's finally, the forecast is that it's going to be dry today, so I'm able to feel confident to take the temporary covering off the roof light area and get the roof light on. So for the main frame, I've put a strip of sort of rubber sealant underneath to try and make sure it fits nice and snugly on the cowling over there. But I have to say, I haven't tried this since I've done the measurements, so fingers crossed that this actually works. Yeah, good. Right, step one done. Et voila. Well, I forgot. Well, I thought I'd put the camera on when I was screwing the windows in, and I found out I hadn't. So you missed that bit. But I have to thank Megan for helping me hold the windows while I was screwing them in hinges, because I couldn't have done it on my own. Anyway, yeah, there we are. Oh, and by the way, you know, a couple of videos back, I said that I'd made the Pentagon ridge pole too big, too small, so I chopped it up. I haven't. What I'd actually done wrong is the gutter bits here weren't and aren't large enough. They should have been a wider diameter, therefore that would have allowed that the drip bead to swing out. However, I didn't have a larger one anyway. I realised this shortly after I'd made the comment on the previous video, but I was like, no, I can't undo that. I'm not going to undo that. So that is how it is. Anyway, it's here, so I'm going to have a look what it looks like inside. Well, that looks not too bad, and I have to say, with now all the windows are in and the roof light, it's pretty it's pretty much a junkyard, as you can see, but this is going to be the living area, and it's nice and bright, so that's exactly what I was hoping for. Nice and bright, even though I've only got portholes. And meanwhile, I'm waiting for the proper clips have come for the exhaust of the diesel heater. These are the ones that came with the unit, and if you're buying a genuine Webasto, they say do not use these, and they're quite thin and flimsy. These are the ones that you use, and so I was much happy to pay £5 for 2 of these and not kill myself. So we got those have been put on. We've also got a carbon monoxide detector again, just so there. So the diesel heater is now in place and connected up to the semi-permanently. So we have the diesel heater, we have the windows, and we have the roof light. So finally, I think when did I start this this sort of endeavour? I think it was in August. I said, oh, I better get this thing weatherproof for winter. It's now late October, so just in time. But yeah, so this should be good. So the last thing I'm going to do, and this is, so now I've got the roof light on, I'm going to actually cover it in polythene, because both Alan and Rachel have had roof lights over the winter, and they said the winter has actually wrecked them. So while it's there, I'm going to give it protective coat. I'm going to give it its own little overcoat, and also it does mean while it's there is part of me that still is anxious that this thing would leak, and I don't cope with having to sort this out right now. So also hopefully avoid any midnight drippings and when it starts raining heavily. So yeah. Hello, are you? You thinking? Hope you're not thinking of doing a poo on my new roof. It looks a lot less impressive now it's all wrapped up. And talking of wrapping up, well, that's probably more than enough video, so I will get this edited up and onto YouTube. Anyway, thanks for watching, and see you soon.